the appearance of Vrindavaneshwari Srimati Radharani, and we have His Grace Ramiya Prabhu, who is the disciple of His Divine Grace Abhicharana Arvind Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. So Prabhuji got initiation by Srila Prabhupada almost 50 years back, and Prabhuji and his good wife, Her Grace Ananta Mataji, have been serving the wonderful movement of ISKCON for almost last 5 decades, 50 years. I guess most of us were not even born at that time when Prabhuji
Yes,
took these vows, some of us. So it shows a great sign of commitment. It's not easy to do any spiritual activity for decades and decades. He has served ISKCON in multiple capacity, in multiple temples across the US, and now he is actively serving in the Tampa, Alachua, Tallahassee, Orlando areas as the zonal secretary and a great guide, supporter, like a father for all of us. So we are very grateful, Prabhu. We don't have a physical garland, but with the gratitude and our garland of gratitude, we welcome you by loudly chanting 3 times. Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Haribol, Haribol.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Please enlighten us on this wonderful occasion of the glories of Sri Radhika. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
So I wanted to begin. I guess you can sing at your own space, but if we try to sing over the internet, won't work too well. But this is called the Radhika Stava by Rupa Goswami. And it goes like this. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Dayate. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Dayate. Gokula Taruni Mandala Mahite. Gokula Taruni Mandala Mahite. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Dayate. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Dayate. Damodara Rati Vardhana Veshe. Hare Niskuta Vrinda Vipine She. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Dayate. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Dayate. Vishabhanu Dari Navashashileke. Lalita Sakti Guna Ramita Vishake. Vishabhanu Dari Navashashileke. Lalita Sakti Guna Ramita Vishake. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Dayate. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Dayate. Karunam Kuru Mai Karuna Bharite. Sanaka Sanatana Varnita Charite. Karuna Kuru Mai Karuna Marite. Sanaka Sanatana Varnita Charite. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Dayate. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Dayate. So translation. O Radha, O beloved of Madhava, O you who are worshipped by all the young girls of Gokula, all glories unto you, all glories unto you. You who dress yourself in such a way to increase Lord Damodar's love and attachment for you, O Queen of Vrindavan, which is the pleasure grove of Lord Hari. O new moon that has risen from the ocean of King Vrishabhanu, O friend of Lalita, O you who make Vishaka loyal to you due to your wonderful qualities of friendship and kindness. Friendship and kindness and faithfulness to Krishna. O you who are filled with compassion, O you whose divine characteristics are described by the great sages Sanaka and Sanatana, O Radha, please be merciful unto me. So today is Radha-Ashtami, the appearance day of Srimati Radharani, and on this occasion, I just wanted to recall here that Srila Prabhupada gave one lecture, which I will read parts of so that we can focus. He said, in the Vedanta Sutra, the Absolute Truth is described as Anandamaya, always in pleasure potency. When you want Ananda, pleasure, you cannot have it alone. Alone, you cannot enjoy. When you are in circles of friends or family or other associates, you feel pleasure, just like I am speaking. The speaking is very pleasing when there are many persons here. I cannot speak alone here. That is not Ananda. I can speak here at night, in the dead of night. Nobody here, but that is not Ananda. Ananda means there must be others. So, because Krishna, the Absolute Truth, is Anandamaya, therefore, Eko Bahu Sham. He has become many. And we are also Krishna's part and parcel to give pleasure to Krishna. And the chief pleasure potency is Radharani. So, skipping ahead, Prabhupada says, Krishna is Param Brahma. As you know from the Bhagavad Gita, when Arjuna understood Bhagavad Gita, he affirmed Krishna, Param Brahma, Param Dhamma, Bhavitam, Paramam Bhavan. So Krishna is Param Brahma. So, when there is Param Brahma, first of all, the Param Brahma information is not there in the material world. The little Brahman information is there, or little Paramatma information, but not Param Brahma, or Bhagavan information. Therefore is understood, Manushyanam Sahasreshu Kaschid Yatati Siddhaye. That means you can understand Brahman or Paramatma, but out of many such persons who have realized Brahman and Paramatma, hardly a person can know Krishna. What can we understand about Krishna's pleasure potency then? If I want to know some big man, that is one process, and without knowing that big man, how can I understand his internal affairs? Similarly, if we do not understand Krishna, how can we understand how Krishna is enjoying? That is not possible. But the Goswamis, they're giving us information. What is the pleasure potency of Krishna? That is Srimati Radharani. So, our prayer today is to Srimati Radharani. We pray to Radharani because she is the pleasure potency of Krishna. Krishna means all attractive. But Radharani is so great that she attracts Krishna. Krishna is all attractive, and she is attractive to the attractor, and she is the attractor of Krishna. So, what is the position of Srimati Radharani? We should try to understand this day and offer our obeisances to Radharani. Radhe Vrindavaneshwari. I offer Tapta Kancha Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamamya He Priye. I offer my respects to Radharani, whose bodily complexion is like molten gold, and she is the queen of Vrindavan. You are the daughter of King Vrishabhanu, and you are very dear to Lord Krishna. Our business is, quote, Radharani, you are so dear to Krishna, so we offer our respectful obeisances to you. So, this is the position of Radharani. And Radharani is so great that actually Krishna desires to have her association. Krishna thinks, I am full, I am complete in every respect, but still I want to understand Radharani. Why? This propensity made Krishna obliged to accept the propensities of Radharani to understand Krishna himself. And that we know is Lord Chaitanya. So the six Goswamis, we sang the song by Rupa Goswami, Radhika Stava. The Goswamis, they also were in Vrindavan, and they never said, "Oh, I have seen Krishna." Although they were most perfect, they never said like that I have seen Krishna. Their prayers were always like this. Hey Radhe Vrajadevike, hey Nanda Suno Kuta. Hey Radhe, Radharani, hey Radhe, Vrajadevike Cha. Radharani does not remain alone. She remains always with her friends. Brajadevi, Lalita, or Vishaka are the other damsels of Vrindavan. So the Goswamis are praying in their mature stage. When they were living in Vrindavan, they were praying in this way. Hey Radhe Rajadevike Chalalite. Hey Nanda Suno Kuta. Where, Radharani, where are you? Where are your associates? Where are you? Nanda Suno, the son of Nanda Maharaj Krishna, where are you all? They were searching after. They never said, I had seen Krishna dancing with the gopis last night. This is sahaja. This is not mature devotee. This is called sahaja, and they take everything very cheap. Krishna cheap, Radharani very cheap, as if they can see every night. No, the Goswamis do not teach us like that. So that gives us a little background from which we can begin to understand the importance of Radharani. But of course, there is much more to understand. There are many, many books about the activities of Srimati Radharani. So from the Chaitanya Charitamrita, and actually also, this one in particular is from Nectar of Devotion. Srila Prabhupada said, a pure devotee...
Are you sharing your screen?
Oh, not yet. Was I? Did you see the song?
The song we could see, but nothing after that.
Okay. After that, it is secret.
Okay. Then maybe you can...
Well, I can do it. Excuse me, I just...
Hare Krishna.
Excuse me here. So let me share this again. So here in the Gita Govinda by Jayadev Goswami, one gopi tells her friends, Krishna is the reservoir of all pleasure within this universe. His body is as soft as a lotus flower, and his free behavior with the gopis, which appear exactly like a young boy's attraction to a young girl, is a subject matter of transcendental conjugal love. So a pure devotee follows in the footsteps of the gopis, and he worships the gopis as follows, quote, let me offer my respectful obeisances to all these young cowherd girls whose bodily features are so attractive. Simply by their beautiful, attractive features, they are worshiping the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. And out of all the young gopis, Srimati Radharani is the most prominent. So then there was a description, a little bit of the beauty of Srimati Radharani. The beauty of Srimati Radharani, which attracts Krishna, is described as follows. Her eyes defeat the attractive features of the eyes of the chakori bird. I assume all of you have seen the chakori bird. Is it true? When one sees the face of Radharani, he immediately hates the beauty of the moon. Her bodily complexion defeats the beauty of gold. So she is a golden complexion and more beautiful than the moon. And let us all look upon the transcendental beauty of Srimati Radharani. Krishna's attraction for Radharani is described by Krishna himself. Quote, when I create some joking words in order to enjoy the beauty of Radharani, Radharani hears these joking words with great attention. But by her bodily features and counter words, she neglects me. I even possess unlimited pleasure by her neglect of me, for she becomes so beautiful that she increases my pleasure 100 times. So here we can get a concept that the relationship, the interaction between Srimati Radharani and Lord Krishna are very intimate, and she is extremely pleasing to him. She is the most pleasing devotee. Let me read here. In the Dana Kali Kamudi, Srimati Radharani, pointing to Krishna, says, this clever boy of the forest has the beauty of a bluish lotus flower, and he can attract all the young girls of the universe. Now, after giving me a taste of his transcendental body, he has enthused me, and it is more than I can tolerate. I am now feeling like a female elephant who has just been enthused by a male elephant. This is an instance of jubilation and ecstatic love with Krishna. So here's some other background so we understand, because Prabhupada said Radharani is not alone. So here he says Radharani has unlimited Sakis, girlfriends, headed by Lalita Devi and Vishaka Devi. These Sakis are in the same age group as Srimati Radharani. So their appearance, their birth is about the same as Radharani, same time frame, within a few months. Thus, they sometimes have direct dealings with Lord Krishna. The Sakis facilitate the pastimes of Radha Krishna, and sometimes Radharani arranges that her friends have direct union with Krishna. However, the direct maid servants of Srimati Radharani are the Manjaris. Manjari means bud, young, or very tender. The Manjaris are very young, innocent girls. Their ages are not more than 13 years. They are the exclusive maidservants of Srimati Radharani. The unique position of Manjari is that they are allowed to witness the intimate loving pastimes of Radha and Krishna in the inner chambers of the groves of Vrindavan, and they render personal service there, to which the Sakis have no access. So they get to serve Radha Krishna, but Radharani's girlfriends are not allowed in that area at that time. Thus, the Manjaris relish unparalleled bliss of bhakti rasa. So why is this important to us? Okay, now let's understand. One of the principal Manjaris is Sri Rupa Manjari, who is incarnated as Srila Rupa Goswami. So he's the leader as Rupa Manjari of all the Manjaris. So Narottam Das Thakur composed a very beautiful song in praise of the dust of the lotus feet of Sri Rupa Manjari. So we didn't sing that today. This song is in the Prarthana as follows. Sri Rupa Manjari Pada Se Mora Sampada Se Mora Bhajana Pujana. Rupa Nuga Bhajana means following in the footsteps of Srila Rupa Goswami by meditating to become a maidservant of Srimati Radharani, the enchanter of Krishna. Just as Krishna captivates all living entities by his energy and attractive qualities, similarly Srimati Radharani captivates Krishna by her loving, charming qualities. The goal of the devotee of Lord Chaitanya, following in the footsteps of Srila Rupa Goswami, is become a maidservant of Srimati Radharani. Srimati Radharani's love for Krishna is so intense that Krishna is maddened by it. And so he accepts the form of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to understand and relish that love. So this is quite intimate detail, but this is how everything fits together for us. We are following Rupa Goswami. Srila Prabhupada is following Rupa Goswami. We are following Rupa Goswami. And Rupa Goswami is actually Sri Rupa Manjari. And thus we're serving him in the spiritual world. So, stop for a moment, ask if there's any questions. There'd probably be a million questions, but let's see what we can answer. Everything is completely clear. Or are you also bewildered that you don't even know what question? Huh. Well,
Yes, everyone is trying to absorb and relish all the nectar you're sharing, Prabhu. If anyone has a question or a comment, you can raise your hand or unmute, whichever way is. Hare Krishna. But you can continue maybe towards the end. Devotees may be interested to ask questions or comments.
okay. Okay. So, share screen. So now I have a little section from Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, Chapter 8, text 161 to 185. So those of you who have the Chaitanya Charitamrita could follow along. And if you don't, you can follow online through the database also. But I will read the verses here. Among the gopis of Vrindavan, Srimati Radharani and another gopi are considered chief. And when we compare gopis, it appears that Srimati Radharani is the most important because her real feature expresses the highest ecstasy of love. The ecstasy of love experienced by the other gopis cannot be compared to that of Srimati Radharani. So just for your reference, this is, I believe, from the section where Ramananda Roy, at the request of Lord Chaitanya, is describing the most highest perfections for a living entity. And he comes to the residents of Vrindavan and then gradually to the gopis, describing these to Lord Chaitanya. And Lord Chaitanya is very ecstatic and asks them to continue. The body of Srimati Radharani is a veritable transformation of love of God. She is the dearmost friend of Krishna, and thus this is known throughout the world. So everyone in Vrindavan knows that Radharani is the dearmost friend of Krishna. But she is not just an ordinary girl. Her very body is a transformation of her love of Godhead. So deep is her relationship with Krishna that her body just pleases Krishna in all ways. So this is a verse from the Brahma Samhita. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord who resides in his own realm, Goloka, with Radha, who resembles his own spiritual figure and who embodies the ecstatic potency, Ladini. Their companions are her confidants who embody the extensions of her bodily form and who are imbued and permeated with ever blissful spiritual rasa. So continuing, the supreme ecstasy of Srimati Radharani is the essence of spiritual life. Her only business is to fulfill the desires of Krishna. So we'll hear this a little later, that Radharani is extremely merciful. anyone who offers any service, she immediately accepts them, regardless of their situation, as the most dear devotee, and she recommends that devotee to Krishna. And whoever Radharani recommends to Krishna, he automatically accepts. So the devotees, therefore, are seeking the favor of Srimati Radharani. This is their desire, because then they know, however rascal I may be, Krishna will accept me if Radharani accepts me. So continuing, Srimati Radharani is the topmost spiritual gem, and the other gopis, Lalita, Vishaka, and so on, are expansions of her spiritual body. So just like Krishna has expansions of Balaram and, Narayan and so many other forms, Srimati Radharani also has expansions in the form of the other gopis. Srimati Radharani's transcendental body is brilliant in luster and full of transcendental fragrances. Lord Krishna's affection for her is like a perfumed massage. So I'm going to kind of skip through this, but this section is very, requires some careful thought, because it describes various aspects and things related to Radharani that help us understand her deep devotion. But it may be a descriptions that we haven't seen before, or maybe a little unfamiliar with. So let's see, purport. The word udvartana refers to a paste made of several perfumes and fragrant oils. This paste is massaged all over the body, and in this way the body's dirt and perspirations are removed. Srimati Radharani's body is automatically perfumed. In other words, she doesn't have to put anything on it for it to be perfumed. But when her body is massaged with the scented paste of Lord Krishna's affection, so not oil and perfume, but Krishna's affection, her entire body is doubly perfumed and made brilliant and lustrous. This is the beginning of Krishnadas Kaviraj's description of Srimati Radharani's transcendental body. And this description in verses 165 to 181 are based on the book by Raghunath Das Goswami called Premam Bhoja Maranda. Srila Bhaktivinoda translation of the original Sanskrit reads as follows. So we'll read a few parts of this. The love of the gopis for Krishna is full of transcendental ecstasy. So they are in the highest level of love of Krishna, and their love is full of this transcendental ecstasy. It appears to be a brilliant jewel, and enlightened by such a transcendental jewel, Radharani's body is further perfumed and decorated with kumkum. In the morning, her body is bathed with the nectar of compassion. So understand, usually we say bathing, we talk about, scented waters and different things. But here, her bath is the nectar of compassion. And in the afternoon is in the nectar of youth. So she always appears very youthful. She's full of compassion and very youthful. And in the evening, in the nectar of luster itself. So her body is very lustrous, beautiful. And this way, the bathing is performed and her body becomes as brilliant as a Chintamani jewel. She is dressed in various silken garments, one of which is her natural shyness. So that is one of Radharani's prominent qualities, is her shyness. Her beauty is more and more enhanced with being decorated with red kumkum of beauty itself, and the blackish musk of conjugal love. Thus her body is decorated with different colors. Her ornaments embody the natural symptoms of ecstasy. So you may have different ornaments. You wear bangles and arm bracelets and so on, rings. Her ornaments are trembling, tears, jubilation, stunning, perspiration, faltering of the voice, bodily redness, madness, and dullness. In this way, her entire body is bedecked with these 9 different jewels. So she's constantly experiencing these ecstatic symptoms due to her overwhelming devotion, love for Krishna. So I'm just here trying to keep up with the time a little bit. This is one I really liked. Srimati Radharani's earrings are the holy names of Krishna, as well as the hearing of his name and fame. So again, on her ears are the holy names of Krishna. Her lips are always reddish due to the betel nut of ecstatic affection for Krishna. Black ointment around her eyes is her tricky behavior with Krishna brought about by love. So like this, we can read different things. And then here, Raghunath Das Goswami offers his respectful obeisances to Srimati Radharani, taking the straw in his mouth. So Raghunath Das Goswami, he is also one of these follower of Rupa Goswami, and he is in his perfected form a Manjari as well, intimate servant of Srimati Radharani. So he prays, O Gandharvika, which is the name for Radharani. Srimati Radharani, just as Krishna never rejects the surrendered soul, please don't reject me. So he is in his perfected form, and even in his earthly form, he's very, very devoted to Srimati Radharani and her service. Srimati Radharani takes her first bath in the shower of the nectar of compassion, and her second bath in the nectar of youth. So like this, the different things are expressed about how Radharani's form is covered and bathed and decorated. And we have to appreciate that it is describing how deep is her devotion. Her every thought, word, action, her very presence is expression of her devotion to Krishna. After a midday bath, Radharani takes another bath in the nectar of bodily luster. She puts on the garment of shyness, which is her black silk sari. Then to the middle of this paragraph, thus there are 3 baths in different kinds of water. Radharani puts on 2 garments, a lower and upper garment. The upper garment is pinkish and is her affection and attraction for Krishna. And the lower garment is a blackish silk sari, which is her shyness. So like this, there's many different descriptions of her appearance, her dress, her decoration. And then it says here, craftiness and covered anger constitute the arrangements of her hair. The quality of anger due to jealousy is the silken garment covering her body. So in the interactions between Radharani and Krishna, sometimes she expresses this anger, especially when, like, Krishna doesn't show up for their proposed rendezvous. He doesn't show up. Sometimes he keeps her waiting all night. So then she's a little angry with him. But that also becomes attractive to Krishna. So anyway, this whole section is quite elaborate, and I would recommend studying thoroughly the Nectar of Devotion so you can have appreciation for all this. There's another statement that the tilak of good fortune is on her broad forehead. Her various loving affairs are a gem. Her heart is the locket. And it says here under the purport, Radharani's 8 companions, Astasaki, are the different varieties of pleasure connected with the pastimes of Krishna. So different activities give Krishna pleasure, and each one of her close associates represents more deeply those particular aspects. So again, Srimati Radharani's earrings are the name, fame, quality of Lord Krishna. The glories of Lord Krishna's name, fame, and qualities are always inundating her speech. Srimati Radharani induces Krishna to drink the honey of conjugal relationship. She is therefore engaged in satisfying all the lusty desires of Krishna. Srimati Radharani is the mind filled with valuable jewels of love for Krishna. Her transcendental body is complete with unparalleled spiritual qualities. If one asks about the origin of love of Krishna, the answer is that the origin is in Srimati Radharani alone. Who is the most dear friend of Lord Krishna? The answer again is Srimati Radharani alone, no one else. Radharani's hair is very curly, her true eyes are always moving to and fro, her breasts are very firm, and since all the transcendental qualities are manifest in Srimati Radharani, she alone is able to fulfill all the desires of Krishna, no one else. A quote from Govinda Lilamrita by Krishnadas Kaviraj. So let me stop with that part, and again ask if there's any questions or comments or clarifications. No? Subha, you're getting ready to ask a question?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. No, Prabhuji, you explained very well. So, I mean, like for the tattva, right, Prabhuji, you said, how can we, understand?
How can we understand all this? Well, first of all, our heart has to be very pure. And even though we can't understand by our mundane mind and intelligence, by the power of bhakti, Krishna will reveal everything to us. But I think one thing that's easy to take away is that our Vaishnava philosophy coming from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very deep and is very amazing and very highest form of bhakti. The bhakti of Srimati Radharani, nothing compares to it, and we are in that line following her and her devotion. Sridham Prabhu, are you with us?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Prabhu.
Thank you, Haribol, for the very wonderful explanation and glorification of Srimati Radharani, Prabhuji. That was very, very nice. Haribol to you, Prabhu.
Was it understandable or was it a little too esoteric?
No, it was, very well explained, Prabhu. Maybe if you can also kind of share a few pastime of Srimati Radharani with Krishna, that would also...
Yeah, I had one pastime I wanted to share, but I don't know if there will be time, but it's a nice one. Does everyone know what the most holy place in the universe is?
Radha Kund.
Radha Kund.
Oh, oh, wow, some people are reading. That's very good studying. Excellent. So, this is the story about the beginnings of Radha Kund, how Radha Kund came. Oh, wait a minute. Something, oh, I'm sorry, I was in the wrong section. Yeah, here it is. So, just to get us familiar with what Radha Kund is, Radha Kund's at the foot of Govardhan, right next to Shama Kund, which is Krishna's Kund, and Radha Kund is Radharani's Kund. And Radha Kund is the most dear place to Lord Krishna. So, how did this come to be? Once, Kamsa sent a demon named Aristasura to Raja. And the demon had accepted the form of what? Who knows?
Bull.
But
A bull.
Mm.
Yes. He had accepted the form of a bull, and he was very ferocious, and he frightened all the Brajavasis. Lord Sri Krishna killed the demon very easily. And that night, Lord Krishna played on his flute to attract the gopis and enjoy with them in the rasa dance. While Lalita and Radharani and the other Sakis were approaching Sri Krishna, they were discussing amongst themselves. So you'll see how they're not just, they're very involved, and it's a very interesting drama of discussion and activities that go on, all centered around Krishna and pleasing Krishna. So they were discussing, oh, Krishna, the son of Rajaraj Nanda, has killed a bull. He has committed a sin. It is described in the scripture that if the king commits any sin, then the citizens share the reactions. Following this principle, the sin incurred by Krishna's killing a bull must have also infected us. We must consult with Bhagavati Puramasi and ask her what we must do to be free of this sin. While discussing like this, they were approaching Krishna. They spoke loudly so that Krishna could hear. And Radharani said to Krishna, "O killer of the bull, today you should not touch our bodies." And Krishna replied, "Oh, foolish gopis, that was not really a bull. It was a demon who had come in the guise of a bull to harm the people of Raja." And Radharani then said, "Oh, Krishna, even if he was a demon, still he has accepted the form of a bull." So now, notice now how great philosophers they are. Oh, Vritasura was also a demon. Still Indra incurred the sin of killing a Brahmin by killing him. In the same way, even if Aristasura was a demon, because he was in the form of a bull, you have incurred sin. When Krishna heard this explanation from Radharani, he had no answer. He stood there, shamefaced, looking down at the ground. He asked Radharani, "If I have incurred this sin, then what is the solution? What should I do to be free of this sin?" Radharani and her Saki said, "We have heard from Devi Purnamasi and Gargi, the daughter of Gargacharya, that for this kind of sin one must travel to all the holy places and take bath in the waters of those tirthas. Then only will you be free from the sin of killing a bull." So Krishna is already thinking, that will take so long to travel to so many holy places. Some of you may not know, but during the 1996 celebration of Prabhupada's centennial, we gathered holy waters from 1,008 holy tirthas from all over India, and then we used those to bathe Srila Prabhupada. And that took like 2.5 years to gather the waters. So, in response then, Krishna said in a very angry mood, he kicked the ground with his left heel. Oh wait, first he says, when Krishna heard this process of atonement from Radharani, he gave up his humility and he said, "Ha! Do you think that I have to go all over the 3 worlds to take bath in all the all the tirthas? Just see, now I will bring all the tirthas here before your very eyes. And then Krishna, in a very angry mood, kicked the ground with his left heel. And that kick of Lord Krishna created a hole. And immediately, Bhagavati Ganga appeared from the Pataloka. And then Krishna invited all the tirthas into that water. They appeared by his order, and they entered into the water. After taking bath, Krishna said, I will now arrange that this pond created by me, which carries this most pure water of all the tirthas, will exist here eternally. And then he looked at Radharani and her Sakhis, and he said, now I have taken bath in this water and have been purified from my sin. But what about all of you? You have performed no pious activities in this life. How can you take bath in all these tirthas? So it's very interesting here. Krishna does not, he turns it around against the gopis. Now they have to get purified. All the gopis said, oh Krishna, you are a great cheater. Who can understand your illusion? The water in this pond is just normal water. How can you say so proudly that this water is free from all the tirthas? We don't believe you. So they're challenging Krishna. Where are all these tirthas that you said were coming? Krishna heard this from the gopis. He summoned all the tirthas who appeared in their personified form before Radharani. One by one, they identified themselves to her. I am Lavana Samudra, the ocean of salty water. I am Sona. I am the river Sindhu. I am the Tamraparni. I am Pushkara. I am Sarasvati. I am the river Jamuna. I am Kavari. I am the Tirtha Prayag. I am the river Reva. Now all of us has entered into this kunda in the form of water. Krishna then said to the gopis, now there is nothing for you to doubt. I have taken bath in this holy water from all the tirthas and am completely free from all sins. But what about all of you? Being citizens of Raja, you are infected by sin. Now you should take bath in this water and become free from sin. Otherwise, you will remain contaminated and you will not be able to touch my body. So Krishna has now reversed it and told them to take bath in his kund that he just created. And what will they say? Radharani says, oh, Sakhis, Krishna has created this pond by kicking the ground with his feet. This is not an auspicious start. Furthermore, since he took his bath here, the water has become contaminated by receiving the sins of Krishna. We should not take bath in this kunda. We must create our own kunda and take bath in that water. On the western side of the kunda created by Krishna, Radharani found a place that bore the hoof print of the demon Aristasura, thus creating a hole. Radharani took her bangle and, with the help of her Sakhis, began digging. So she took the bangles from her own arm and started digging out this kunda. There were so many gopis within a short time that a large pond was created. Thus the kunda was created by the bangles of Radharani, and it was known as Kankana Kunda. And later it became known as Radha Kund. Thus Radharani very quickly created a nice kunda next to Krishna Kunda or Shama Kunda. Krishna was surprised to see this, and he told Radharani, oh, lotus-eyed one, you have made a nice hole. But what use is this pond if there's no water in it? Anyway, I can allow you, along with your Sakhis, to take water from my kunda to fill yours. So again, he's testing them and embarrassing them. Hearing this from Krishna, Radharani turned her face away and raising her chin, she said, no, no, Your kunda is contaminated by the sins you released during your taking your bath. We will not take our bath in that water. I will bring water from the Manasi Ganga by the help of my millions of sakis, and thus I will establish the incomparable glory of my kunda in this world. So Manasi Ganga is created on top of the Govardhan Hill, but we don't go there because the Lord Chaitanya is teaching us not to cross over Govardhan Hill. So then what happens? Krishna thought this would be far too laborious task for Radharani and the gopis, and he indicated to all the tirthas to approach Radharani to serve her. Immediately, the personified tirthas appeared before Srimati Radharani and offered their prayers to her. They said, "O Devi, who can calculate the greatness of your glories? The Vedas do not know the end of your glories. Brahma, Shiva, Narada also do not know the end of your glories. Sri Uddhava is always meditating on your unlimited glories. The corner of your lotus feet are radiant rays of beauty desired by even by Lakshmi Devi. Only one person knows your glories in full, and that is the son of Nanda Maharaj, who is cleaning the perspiration from your body out of love for you. He decorates your lotus feet very beautifully with the ankle bells made from precious gems. He feels himself most fortunate to receive the mercy of your vision. By his order and the mercy we have retained, we have appeared in this kunda. These the holy tirthas are saying this, which was created by the kick of his heel. Oh, Srimati Radharani, Srimati Radhika, kindly accept us by casting your merciful glance upon us, and let us live in your kunda and always have the opportunity to behold your sweet pastimes with Krishna, and thus all our desires will be fulfilled. So, hearing these prayers of the personified tirthas, Radharani looked upon Sri Krishna and smiled. She said, "O tirthas, I am very pleased with your prayers. Now you may enter into my kunda by your own sweet will." On this merciful order, Radharani immediately, on this merciful order of Radharani, immediately Krishna, with the help of his flute, made a hole in the dam between the two kundas, and the water from Shyamakund entered into Radhakund. Srimati Radharani entered her kund at midnight on the Kartik Purnima, Krishnastami, or Bahulastami Titi. When Krishna saw Radhakund was filled with water, he also took bath there. He said to Radharani, "O my most dear one, I will take bath and engage in water sports daily in this kund created by you. As you are dear to me, this kund created by you is also very dear to me." Thus, every year, for thousands of devotees take bath at Radhakund on this Titi and Muhurta to attain the perfection of life. So they take bath at midnight of the Kartik Purnima, Krishnastami. Radhakund, Kankana Kunda still exists inside Radhakund. It is 20 feet square and 16 feet deep. When the devotees emptied Radhakund for cleaning purposes, at that time, Kankana Kunda was visible. Thus ends the stories of Radhakund, the creation of Radhakund. All right, now there must be questions. I think you all had too much Radhastami feast. Now you're feeling a little tired.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for sharing the beautiful story of Radha Kund. What can we, what should be our mode to on this day to approach Sri Radharani, and what can we practically apply in our lives from her mode to serve Krishna, and as a neophyte devotee, how can I take lesson and try to apply from her example?
Well, there's a little section here I'll read that answers your question. It's called Prayer to Radharani Vrindavaneshwari. Tapta Katsana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hare Priye. I offer my respects to Radharani, whose bodily complexion is like molten gold and who is the queen of Vrindavan. You are the daughter of King Vrishabhanu and you are very dear to Lord Krishna. This is Prabhupada speaking here. Our business is Radharani. You are so dear to Krishna, so we offer our respectful obeisances to you. Radharani is Hari Priya, very dear to Krishna. So if we approach Krishna through Radharani, through the mercy of Radharani, then it becomes very easy. If Radharani recommends, this devotee is very nice, this Shubha Vilas is very nice devotee, then Krishna immediately accepts, however fool I may be. Because it is recommended by Radharani, Krishna accepts. Therefore, in Vrindavan, you'll find all the devotees there chanting more Radharani's name than Krishna. Wherever you go, then you'll find the devotees addressing Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe. You'll still find in Vrindavan, they are glorifying Radharani. They are more interested in worshiping Radharani because, however fallen I may be, if in some way or other I can please Radharani, then it is very easy for me to understand Krishna. Otherwise, if you go by the speculative process to understand Krishna, it will take many, many lifetimes. But if you take the devotional service, just try to please Radharani, and Krishna will be gotten very easily. Because Radharani can deliver Krishna. She is so great devotee, the emblem of Mahabhagavata. Even Krishna cannot understand what is Radharani's quality. Even Krishna, although he says, Vedaham Samatitani, I know everything, still he fails to understand Radharani. Radharani is so great. So, this is our mood, that we want to attain the mercy of Srimati Radharani. Even we may feel unqualified, still if she accepts our service, then our life will be perfected. Does that answer your question?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, very much. Please pray for us so we can develop that mode of genuine service.
Certainly.
I think maybe you can take one last comment or question because it's over 9. If anyone wants to ask or share any thoughts.
I think they're all afraid.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I'm very fascinated by Radha Kund and this pastime you talked about. And you mentioned that there's a place where people go still today. Have you been to this place? Or do you know someone who has been there? And what was their experience?
Oh, devotees always go to visit Radha Kund when they go to Vrindavan. They have regular tours there, and specifically in the month of Kartik, it becomes overcrowded. Hard to even get there, the crowds are so big. But it is definitely a wonderful place to visit, and there are special sites there on the bank of Radha Kund for Raghunath Das Goswami and other great acharyas to visit their bhajan kutirs. the Bhajan Kutir of Raghunath Das Goswami was constructed on the order of Rupa Goswami because one time he saw him, Raghunath Das Goswami, chanting on the bank of Radhakund, and the sun was very hot and beating on his head, but he was so absorbed in his chanting he didn't pay any attention. So Rupa Goswami looked and he saw that Radha Rani herself was holding her sari over his head to protect him from the sun. And he became a little angry and said, "You are making Radharani serve you. You should build a kutir, a bhajan kutir, so that she will not have to serve you in this way." So his kutir is there.
Very nice. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Then, Prabhuji, you said about Manasi Ganga, which is on,
Yeah,
Govardhan, and we are not supposed to go there.
correct. Yeah, Lord Chaitanya, when he visited Govardhan Hill, he expressed himself as unqualified to put his feet on Govardhan Hill. And because Govardhan is non-different from Krishna. So devotees following his example do not step on Govardhan Hill. We very carefully avoid stepping or touching even the Govardhan Shilas that are all over the hill. You know that? You didn't know?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. But now we actually see, I mean, I know that devotees don't go there, but the locals, they always go.
Other people may go, but devotees, for sure the devotees in ISKCON are not going.
Yes, thank you.
Mother Shushilpa, any final question? Comment?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanvat Pranam. Thank you so much for a lot learned. The pastime is so beautiful. No matter how many times I hear from multiple gurus, it's always fresh. Thank you for sharing it again, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I was thinking, just contemplating. Usually when we hear about Balram, and I hear a lot saying, before going to Krishna, we have to go to Balram. We should go to Krishna through Balram. Now, Radharani is Srimati Radharani is it's Krishna herself, right? Love potence, and we are saying in order to reach Krishna, we have to go through Radharani. How to understand that, Prabhuji?
Well, Balaram is the original guru. So to approach Krishna, we know that the Shastras say you must only approach through a guru. You cannot approach him directly. But having approached him and serving, still we want Krishna to accept our service. So then we go to Radharani to get her mercy, her blessings, so that Krishna will actually accept our service.
Okay, Prabhuji, understood. So knowledge and then prema through Radharani and then Krishna.
So prema, but actually we're talking mercy.
Devotion. Mercy. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, understood, Prabhuji. Thank you.
All right. Anyone else?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhandavat Pranam. It is so blissful, auspicious to hear from you about the glorification of Radha Rani. Prabhuji, the more I was hearing, I was thinking, Prabhupada is so merciful, how he compiled all the essence from the Shastra and gave to us, so we never derail from that. Basically, like how to get the mercy of Krishna. And there are a lot of ways to derail from there. But Prabhupada gave us the way, basically the shortcut. Just follow, just please Radha Rani, then you'll never fall back.
Yeah, that's amazing. And what's even more amazing, he gave it to rascals like me. I had no qualification to get such a high gift. And yet somehow or other he is given. So we can think like that. How is in this Kali Yuga so fallen, so sinful? I'm taking my birth here, yet I'm giving this service directly connecting us to Srimati Radharani and Krishna. We are worshiping Radha and Krishna in the temples. These are not just statues, this is Radha and Krishna. And Prabhupada said, don't take these as some dolls. This is actually Radha and Krishna. So we have to understand what we're doing and at the same time appreciate the great mercy we've been given.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Anyone else? Baladev, anyone? Silence. Well, that must mean it's time to stop.
Krishna Prabhuji, actually preparing for tomorrow, and I was hearing. So it's a very nice patient, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. A lot of things learned. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhuji, this evening we are blessed to have you, Prabhuji. Very nice quotes also you pointed out from Srila Rupa Goswami's writing, and also Radha pastime of Radha Kunda. We never get a chance to visit Vrindavan, Radha Kunda, Sham Kunda, Prabhuji, but with your mercy and all devotees' mercy, maybe we'll go someday when we'll visit India, Prabhuji.
Yeah, don't wait too long. Go sooner rather than later.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Are you coming tomorrow?
I'm not sure. I have another invitation as well, and I'm trying to decide.
Okay, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. I guess we can now wrap up, and we request everyone to please express our deepest gratitude to His Grace Ramiya Prabhu for such nice katha about Radharani's tattva, Radharani's features, more towards service towards Krishna and the practical lessons for us sadhaka, and concluded by the story of Radha Kund and beautiful question answers. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
So let us all chant Jai Shri Radhe 3 times.
Jai
Jai
Shri
Shri
Radhe.
Radhe. Jai Shri
Jai Shri
Radhe.
Radhe.
Jai Shri
Jai Shri
Radhe.
Radhe.
Jai Jai Shri.
Thank you.
Hari Bol. His Grace Ramiya Prabhu ki jai, Shri
Jai.
Prabhupada
Jai.
ki jai, Samved
Jai.
Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Happy Radha Ashtami to everyone. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna devotees, don't forget tomorrow's event, 5 p.m. at Ayappa temple.
Hari Bol.
Hare Bol.
Hare Bol. Ramya Prabhu ki jai.
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 Jai.